India is an adventurous paradise. You head out for a holiday, which quickly turns into a survival situation. A dream turns into a nightmare.
I'm thirsty, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm lost.
Shelter, water, and food become a priority. A fire to keep you warm. But how? I'm Chandan Lahiri from OTS Survival School. I'll give you some tips and show you some tricks to use in a self-reliant situation. Do not think problems can only happen to other people. It can happen to you.
Hi, today I'm going to show you a trick which is useful in terms of reducing the volume that you carry when you're going out into the outdoors. As I keep telling people, the art of survival, the art of the outdoors actually, not just survival self-reliance, is you have to adapt, you have to innovate, you have to improvise, and thereby you have to overcome. Now there are lots of gear and equipment that you need to carry when you need to be prepared for a survival situation, and you always need to be prepared for a survival situation. There are stories of people who have been out for a hike for what they thought was an hour, which lasted weeks, and then they were finally rescued. Some died. So you never know when things can go sour. So it's always good to be prepared for survival. And the less that you carry on your backpack in terms of weight or volume is the more fun that you can have in the outdoors. And in the outdoors, when you're planning a multi-day trip, even if you're planning a day trip and you're being prepared for survival, you need to be prepared to light a fire. And to light a fire, you need an ignition source, you need your tinder material, you need your kindling, and you need a firewood, which is your fuel. And one of the best sources of tinder that I've found, which one can carry with you, is cotton balls. Cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. Now this has got a lot of volume. These are about a dozen cotton balls, and as you can see, it's a fair volume. So this trick that I'm going to show you is how to reduce this volume of cotton balls, which you'll use as your tinder to start a fire, into a much smaller volume. And we'll convert each of these, into something like this. This is what I call a tinder stick. And this is what we'll prepare, and I'll show you. So all this will compress into sticks like these, maybe about a dozen. And I'll show you how to do that. What do we need? Obviously we need some cotton balls. We'll need some petroleum jelly, which will act as an accelerant when mixed with the cotton ball. Cotton ball will act as tinder even without any accelerant like petroleum jelly. But if you add the petroleum jelly, it will last much longer. It will give you more burn time. That gives you more time to light your kindling. So you have your cotton balls. What I'll need are these. These are household items. You'll probably have them at home. You've certainly had them when you've gone for coffee. You're having a cold coffee and they give you a drinking straw. You're having a soda, they'll give you a drinking straw. So what I have is drinking straws. I've got cotton ball. I've got petroleum jelly. I've got a pair of scissors. And I've got my trusty old Swiss Army knife. Let's see how we can turn these cotton balls into tinder sticks. So what I first do is take one cotton ball and dip it in petroleum jelly and soak it as much as I can. Once I've dipped it, just make sure it permeates all the way into the cotton. Once you have done that, put that aside. Take a drinking straw, and you'll need about 1.5 to 2 inches. You can cut off the pieces, but I prefer to do that once I've done with loading the cotton ball inside it. Just stretch the cotton ball out a little bit. Make it slightly longer. Roll it. So you're reducing the circumference. Put it on the mouth of your drinking straw. Take anything actually. I tend to use this. And you need to push the cotton ball into the mouth of the straw. You can use a thin piece of a thin screwdriver. You can use a matchstick. You can use this. You can use pretty much anything which gets inside the straw. And slowly, don't puncture the straw. Just push it inside. And what you'll also find is what I'm finding now is the petroleum jelly, which is now on my fingers, is making my hand slip. So what you can also do is wipe your hands, wipe your fingers so that it doesn't slip as much. Otherwise it'll be a little more time consuming, that's it. Not that it matters. And this is something that you're doing when you're back at home before you're leaving on your holiday, because this is part of your preparation of going out on your wilderness outing. So you need to do this before you leave, when you're packing your stuff, when you're preparing your gear and equipment. That's the time you need to prepare these tinder sticks. All right, that's pretty much inside. So now what we'll do is we'll cut this piece off. Now don't do this with your hands. Just hold the end of this piece. What I did not show you that I'll need is a lighter. You just cinch the end. And just press it. Same at the other side. Just press it.
One camera.
Cinch the end and press it. Now what you have is a tinder stick which you can use anytime at all, and it will reduce the volume of all this cotton balls into much smaller pieces like this, which reduces your volume, reduces your amount of space that you need to use, and this is entirely waterproof. You can be drenched in the rain, you could be immersed in a river, you can still take the tinder out and start your fire. And this will last about 100 seconds. Let's take a look. And even once the flame goes out, what you'll have is the ember, and you can also use the ember to start your fire. And if in about 100 seconds or more you can't light your fire, then there's a problem. Unless it's very damp and it's been raining and your firewood is wet, your kindling is wet, then it might take a little more time to get your fire to light. But in dry weather conditions, if you can't light your kindling with a tinder like this in about 100 seconds, you better stay at home and hone your fire making tricks before you head out into the wilderness. I'll come back with more tips and tricks soon. Thank you for watching. Learn to adapt, improvise, innovate, and overcome. To learn more tips and tricks, visit this site. I'm Chandan Lahiri, and I hope to see you soon at the OTS Survival School. Leave nothing but footprints. Bring back nothing but memories.